Hi and welcome to another YouTube video of A Lot of Stamping Fun. My name is Lotte Noordzij. I am an independent demonstrator in the beautiful city of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And today you are watching a video that is made for the global monthly video blog hub that I participate in with a lot of Stampin'Up demonstrators from all around the world. We have Geisha in Germany, Liz in the UK, Shai or Susan in the US, Tracy in Australia, Trisha in Scotland, Diane in Canada, and Emilie in France. This time we're going to work with the abstract impressions. It's a beautiful stamp set and you can do a lot with it. It is called a two-step stamping, which means that you can coordinate and stamp these images on top of each other. So you get a really nice image that has a lot of depth in it. I'm going to show you what I made with this project today. I'm very happy, and maybe you will see it when I'm using it. The stamp set is one of the 14 stamp sets in the catalog that has also been translated into Dutch. That's our language. I really like that because we don't have that many stamp sets that are in Dutch, only 14 throughout the whole catalog. But they always seems to pick the nice one with nice fonts. So I'm very happy that we have these huge sayings in there, text, and a lot of different flowers, and that we can combine a lot with it. As you can see, I highlighted a little the little letters down here. It says images are 75% of their real size, because if you take them out, then you will see, if you look at the image of this one, that's this stamp set, so you can see it's way bigger than it is on the inlay of the stamp set. So what I normally do is I always, when there's a stamp set that has that, I always take a highlighter and highlight it. So when I'm browsing through my stamp set, I'm like, I'm not that big. Oh no, it's bigger than on the inlay. So that's maybe a nice tip for you to do as well. So now you're of course very curious of what we're going to make with this stamp set. I'm going to show you. I think this stamp set is a really great stamp set to make your own background paper or your own DSP. So what I did, I just grabbed half a sheet of Whisper White. I stamped the images on the Whisper White, and then I started making cards with it and a label. I'm going to show you how I did this. I hope you like it, and for now, I will first tell you what we need to make those 3 projects. As I said, you need a sheet of Whisper White. I took a half a sheet of Whisper White so I can make these 3 projects, but if you want to do more, and then you just grab a whole sheet of Whisper White and you just stamp along and create new cards with it. So this is my base on which I will make the DSP. Then I need 2 base cards. One base card in the beautiful color of Rococo Rose, one of the new ink colors. And I put a mat on it in Rich Raspberry. And on this mat will be the Whisper White DSP. Then I have a Mary Merlot card. It's a square card, so it's 4x4 or 10.5 by 10.5. All the measurements and all the materials that I'm using in this video will be in my blog, and the link to the blog will be below this video. For the label, we need some Blushing Bright, and we need some Scrap White and Rich Raspberry for one of the sayings, and a scrap of Blushing Bright to stamp to punch some things. What I also use in this video but I'm not going to show you how we punch those. But I'm also using one of the tags of the trio of tags. The trio of tags is a really great die that is that you can find in the holiday catalog. It is a die that has 3 labels in it, and it also has a matching stamp set. But I really like the little labels, and I have a stack of them. So I just, you know, in Whisper White and in Very Vanilla, the colors that you use often, I just make a stack of all these labels and just grab out when I need one. This is really a good investment. In the Netherlands, the die is only 19 euros, which is very cheap. So I'm really happy and pleased with this die. You can use it for a lot of things, and I know that I will never part of it. Okay, so I took the this one out to stamp on. Okay, first we're going to create the DSP. I have a couple of colors out, and I will show you. I have my basic gray, because I love doing basic gray instead of black, especially with the softer colors. I have the Blushing Bright, the Rococo Rose, the Rich Razzleberry, and the Merry Merlot. And if you put them like this, then you can see that they get darker or redder. So I'm using all 4 colors to stamp with. Then when you look at the stamp sets, I'm only using for the rose, I'll show you, I'm only using the big one and the smaller one. I'm not using the middle one. I'm just using those 2. And then I go from a softer to a darker color. So this will be softer. This will be the Rococo, this is the Rococo Rose. This will be the Rich Razzleberry, and this is, no, the other way around. Sorry. This is the Rococo Rose. This is the Merry Merlot, and for the heart I use the one of the dots of this image. If you have already seen some videos of me, then you know I don't have any problems cutting stamps. So I cut off this stamp. As you can see, I cut off one of the dots because I like to use that dot just by itself. And I can just put it together, and then I have the whole thing again. And I also did that with one of the sayings. This saying, it's called Veel fleurige groetjes. Heb many flowery hellos, I guess, if you translate it. And I took off the many. So my many is still in here. Mijn veel. And also this one, I can just add it back. And I make sure that, so you can see, I just add it back to the, I always cut it on an angle. Can you see that? So I can always put it together firmly. But I'm not going to use the veil, so I'm taking that off now and put it back in my stamp set. Okay, let's start stamping. I like to start always in the middle. As I told you, I'm going to start with the Rococo Rose and then the bigger one. And because if you go from the middle, you can always go all the way, all the other sides. Oh, I should use a little mat. I'm using my mat underneath. So now I'm going this way. And because I want to make, I want to add some of the little dots in between, I just have to see how much about. So the next one should start around there. So, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be really perfect, but it's always nice to have some room in between so you can add other stuff. There you go. And then I'll put one over here, I guess. Just put some scrap paper underneath. Otherwise it will be on my mat. And then I have it all over the place. There we go. And I'll just do it over here, one. Then I go from the middle to the other side. You can also turn around your stamp so it doesn't go all the same directions. And then I like to do the edges. I might use them, I don't know. I'll do a little bit of here. And I think I will cut this off, so I'm good on this one. So then for the next, I'm gonna grab the Merry Merlot, and then I'm using the second step of the stamp. So now I'm using this one, see? And it doesn't have, you can line it up perfectly, but it doesn't have to. So you just stamp over. I prefer not to do it perfectly because it has more, I don't know, more dynamic to it, I guess. But you can also do it with your Stamparatus and then line them up perfectly, and then you have a whole different view of the roses. There you go. And you see, you make your own DSP. A little bit here. And there's another spot. There you go. Then to finish it off, I'm going to use one of the dots that I showed you. So it's just this one dot that I cut off the stamp and that I am able to put back if I want to. And I'm doing this with the rich raspberry, and it just put a heart in there. Just right in the middle, I put a heart of the in the flower, in the rose. I really like how it turned out with the colors. And then you can, of course, you can take some of the other stamps that are in the stamp set. They're really nice sprigs and leaves, and you can put them anywhere you want, or those little flowers. I took the little dots, and I am stamping them in blushing bright. Oh, put this aside. And I'm just gonna fill up the space in between the flowers. And also, this does not have to be perfect either. It's just handmade. Monet didn't think was not perfect either. He also made mistakes, like we do. Okay, some here. And some there. Sometimes you just have to juggle with your stamp to see where it fits the best. I try not to overlap. It's not bad if it overlaps. Doesn't matter, but I prefer not to this time. Okay, I'll make some here. Oh. Okay, so now, as you can see, I have kind of like a hole here that I would love to fill. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my single one, and I'm going to clean it, of course, first. I always have my chamois handy for these, and I just clean my stamp. Oh, there we go. Now it's ready to use. I prefer to clean my stamps while I'm working with the chamois. But when I I'm finished, I always still clean them with the Stampin' Scrub, because that's my favorite stamp cleaner. Oh, there you go. And one over there. Oh. Okay, now I have it all ready. And I'm gonna put this aside. Some of you might have the Stampin' trimmer. That is what we're going to use right now, because I need to cut all the papers like this, as you can see. So I'm going to put these all together. So, and this fits like this. As you can see, I can just get it out from one paper. I think I stamped these flowers a little bit closer together, so maybe it is going to be too wide apart. So what I can also do is get one of the other stamps out and add a little bit. Maybe I should do that. I think I can. Let me check. I like this one. That one. The little starry thingy. And it gives a little bit more pop. So you, as you can see, you can just work around what you're doing. I think the Mary Merlot will do. And I'm just gonna stamp it over the little dots here and there. And don't forget to put my little chamois underneath it, or my mat underneath. Yeah, ooh, nice. Love it. So it gives a little bit more of a texture to the paper. Nice. I like it. I hope you guys do too. So you see that sometimes you prepare something and then it turns out when you're making the video that it's not really working out how you planned, and then you can just add some nice stuff. There you go. I love it. Okay, that's it. Okay. And then you take your trimmer, and for the measurements and to show the real size of the cards that you will end up with, I am using in between metric and imperial. So for I made a slightly different size card than you're normally used to, so I can work for both imperial and metric, so that you see the end result. Because if I do the card in metric, it looks a bit different because of the size than when I make it in inches or imperial sizes. So this is what we're gonna make, and these are the real sizes. So for my mat on top of the cards, and then I think this is really nice if I put this side onto the card. It's going to be 3 7/8 for the 3/4, and all the measurements will be down below. And 5 1/4. And what I'm going to do, you saw that I have some I don't know how you call that. It's my little cutters are not, my knives are not sharp enough anymore. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put some just copy paper. I'm going to put some copy paper underneath, and then go to 5 1/4, like that. And then when I do this, I have a really nice crisp line. So just add some copy paper underneath, and then the copy paper will have the fringing I think it's called, the fringing underneath, and your mat will be perfect. So this will go on top of this one, like that. Oh yeah. I love it, I love it, I love it. There we go. Then this is left. And now we're gonna do the mat for this one. And this one measures 4 by 4. So I'm gonna do a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 in the inches. And I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. I'm gonna use this one, I guess. So 3 1/4. So I'm gonna put the copy paper underneath it, and then take 3 1/4 of here, like that. Done. And 3 1/4 for this one. I'm just gonna do it like this, because I'm always looking at the pattern of the paper, and I make sure it's nice, and that the pattern is a little bit equal on the card. So we're going to put this one on this. Yes. And then for the last one, that will be the label. We still have this one left, and we need one that's 1 3/4 white. So I'm gonna put it up here. Use my copy paper underneath to get a crisp line. There you go. And the length of it is, oh, I didn't put it in. I think it's 4 inches. Okay, I'll grab this one. Okay, so it's 4 inches. There we go. So now everything is cut. Like I said, I'm gonna put all the measurements in the block, the corresponding block. The block will be down here in the description, so you can always find all the measurements what I'm using. So this is what we just made. So we stamped our own DSP. We have prepared the cards, and the only thing that we have to do now is just put them together and stamp some nice sayings with it. For the big card, I used a scrap of white and a little bit of raspberry, red raspberry, and I'll put it behind there. I took the longer saying, and it says, "Thank you, sweetie." I really like that. I'll grab my little mat, and we'll grab my basic gray, and just putting it there. Thank you, sweetie. There you go. How sweet is that? Then I'm gonna stamp the fleurige groetjes. So the the flowery greetings. I don't know how you say that. I'm gonna stamp that on the little label. Over there. And I will, in a piece of white scrap. Oh, I forgot that. I have to grab it. There we go. I'm gonna do you know how funny you are? I'm not sure what's the saying in. I'll check what the saying in. Okay. So I use this saying. There's so much to love about you, which is, weet je wel hoe leuk je bent? In Dutch. Your thank you is our thank you, sweetie. And I used, I don't know. I think kindness, everything changes. I don't know how that one turned out. I guess it's kindness changes everything is veel fleurige groetjes. And for this one, I grabbed my 2-inch circle punch and I just punched it. Then I took a piece of scrap paper in Blushing Bright and did it with my Starburst punch. There we go. Let me close my ink pad, otherwise my hands will be full of ink. So this is one. Then I have a little strip of rich raspberry, which I'm gonna put behind this, and I have that one. Now we can build the cards. Let me start with the bigger one, the thank you. Okay, I live right in the middle of the city of Rotterdam, and in front of the apartment building where we live, there's a huge, like, nice park, and sometimes they have events over there. Today there's an event as well, and I thought it would start later today, but I'm not sure if you hear it, if you can hear it, but there's an event going on, so if you hear some drums, that's from the event. I'm sorry about it, but I'm not gonna redo the video. Maybe it's gonna be nice music. Okay, so I'm adding all the mats to the card, and you see it's just a teeny tiny edge of the colors. I really like that. It's very so that's this one. Then I just grab my scissors and cut off a little bit of the edge of this one, because I think it's nice if it's not too wide on this side. Then on the other side I'm gonna snip it off and go to the middle of the strip, and then go from the corner to the middle and from the other corner to the middle, and then you always end up with a nice tail. Okay, I'm gonna put this one on top of the rich raspberry strip. I'm gluing it right on the edge. See? Make sure that is in the middle. Okay. I'm gonna do the same with this one. Ooh, it's getting dark outside. I'm always taping in daylight, with bright daylight, but I don't know. It's getting dark now. I'm sorry. I hope you still can see it. Okay, here we go. And then we do the same thing. So I go from corner to corner and make sure that I have this, the same size of tail. There you go. Looks really cute. To finish it off, this card, I'm grabbing some of the silver metallic threads, and I'm 1, 2, 3. I'm putting 3 times around my fingers, 4 times, and then I'm gonna glue it to a glue dot that I will put on the back of the text. There you go. So now that one is secure, and then I'm gonna add more dimensionals. To the card, like that. And then I take off, oops, I'll take off the little papers. Here we go. Oh, it's getting really dark out here. I hope you can still see me, guys. Okay, there we go. Now they're finished. So, and then I'll put the string a little bit, like I think looks good. And then I put it on my card over here. And then we'll add some of the rhinestones to it. Here we go. Nice bling. Bloop, bloop. I really like it. There you go. So it says, "Thank you, sweetie," or "Thank you for what you do." This is card number 1. Then the next card will be the square one that we're going to finish. Again, you put on the mat that you created with your own stamp DSP, and you put it on the card. Make sure that you have about the same edges on each side. Then we're taking the stamped saying and the starbust that is punched, and you put it on top of each other like that. Same here. I'm gonna grab some of the metallic silver thread, 1, 2, 3, 4, put it around my fingers, and then cut it. And make sure that the ends are a bit tight, so you have the ends together, and then you can glue them on to the dimensionals. So I'm putting on the dimensionals right now. And then one in the middle, I guess, to put the thread on. And make sure that you won't go too far out, so just look where your saying is. There we go. Oh, there's one. Just put it on there and take off. Oh. Like that. Okay. Do you know how cute you are? Put it on the card. Then you can just play with the strings and add also some of the rhinestones. And I took the bigger ones with this one. I really like how it fits to the big font. And then I'll put one over there. So that's this one. And finally we're gonna end with a little label. And for the little label, I am using the triple corner punch, I think it's called, to round off the edges on the top of the label. So I'm going to use it like this. Then I'm grabbing the really nice topper punch, the triple topper punch. So you can, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has slides for 3 measurements. So you can put in a 2-inch, 1.5 inch and a 1 inch piece of paper. Then slide it in and then shove it all the way to the end, and then you punch, and then you have a really nice topper on which your thing goes perfectly. So I'm adding this to the label. I have the label finished with this. What I'm gonna do, I thought maybe it is also nice to put some silver thread, but then put it around the label. So I will take this and then just grab the silver. Refers to the basic black, or to the basic gray, I think. I really like that. And then you can put it down with the dimensional, like that, and this one too. So, and then we're gonna put this one up with dimensionals. That's not what I did with the other one. With this one, it's just glued on. But I really like this. I also rounded the corners of this one, but I like to keep them straight now. So I'm taking off the little papers. Oh, if that happens. Yeah, there we go. I'm really curious what the others have made. All my friends, my international friends, with this stamp set. I'm for sure that they have made really nice projects. So be sure to check it out. Here we go. Now I put on the DSP on top of the label with dimensionals. So it has a little bit of a pop. We'll put on this label that I punched with some of the baker's twine. The Whisper White baker's twine. You can never have enough of this. And then I'm gonna put it through both of the holes, so the little label will be attached to the top one, to the other label. And then I'm gonna finish it with some Rococo Rose embellishments. They're called faceted dots. And the Rococo Rose is this color, so I think it's really nice if we can add some towards. And then I put one there as well. And then the colors are all coming back together. I might even want to add some of the bling to it. Where did I put that? Then I will take the smaller ones. There you go. Adding 2, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So this is a way that you can easily put a lot of projects together with just stamping your own background, and then finish your cards just with a bit of a note and some embellishments, and then you have a really nice set. So this one set was created with half a sheet of Whisper White, and the stamp set Abstract Impressions, or Bloemen, zeggen, meer in Dutch. I hope you liked it. Make sure you check out all the materials that I use for this project down below in my blog. There are also the links to all the other demonstrators who are participating in this global monthly video hub. Make sure that if you are in the US, Australia, or in Europe, and you want to order something, that you choose the right demonstrator, because if you live in the US, you won't be able to order with a demonstrator who's living in Europe or in Australia. So make sure that you if you want to order some of the materials that we are using, just hop on to one of the demonstrators in your area, and she will be more than happy to help you. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the project. I hope the lighting was not too bad in the end because of the weather. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will enjoy all the products the other demos did for this monthly global video hub, and I hope to see you next month. Bye!